I've got some helpers with me. They might be some familiar faces. We've got Justin Sines, who's a county extension agent in Montgomery County. We've got Daphne Richards, who's an extension agent in Travis County. We also have the creative team of Kimberly Top from Central Marcom. She's creative manager, and her right-hand man, Troy Abel, who's a graphic design coordinator with Marcom as well. They were some of the masterminds behind these templates that I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys today. Just to let you know how today is going to go, I hope that we have some time for some questions and answers. We're going to throw kind of a lot at you, but my goal today is to get you guys as excited about Canva as possible. It's like, why are we talking about Canva, and why today? Why now? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk a little bit about the AgriLife brand. That's something that every opportunity I can get, I would like to have this discussion as we educate our state about what our team is trying to do with this AgriLife brand. We're going to speak to the power of Canva's collaboration tools, where we can learn more information, and also get y'all excited about next week's Canva training. We've got a cool template library that I'm excited to be able to, if you haven't already dug into, we'll talk a little bit about that. And then again, if we have time, we'll have a show and tell. So the question of why Canva, why now? We've been doing a lot of different things in the past. I know I came on board in November, but I've been working in marketing and design for many years. And there are a lot of different ways to skin a cat. And there's been so many different ways of doing things in the past from what I understand here in AgriLife. It's been Publisher, it's been Adobe, it's been duct tape and twine. Canva is really, we're so excited about Canva because it's a sign of the times. As we move into this digital realm, we are no longer bound by network drives. We're no longer bound by software that's assigned to a specific machine. Canva is in the cloud, and it's an incredibly powerful tool. We think Canva can solve some problems that we know that you have. We think Canva can solve some problems that you don't even know that you have yet, because we recognize that we've got a lot of power users that are in the audience right now. And so I want to kind of leave it open. I'm going to have some spots where we can get some questions or even some comments. Please feel free to pepper the chat if you've got some good comments or feedback you'd like to offer. Because again, like I said, I know we have some power users with us, but I want you guys to know, come out from this today knowing that it's not just flyers and social media graphics. Canva can help you in your outreach in many ways. It can help you reach your many audiences. In extension, we know we're a little bit special and that we've got a whole lot going on. There's a great diversity. And so diversity of audience, diversity of focus area, diversity of work. And so Canva can really be leveraged in many ways for you. And like I think I said, it can even help you achieve some operational office efficiencies that I don't know if you even know yet. So with the help from my friends, we're going to have that we'll talk about brand here. And at the end of this, I really hope that we can have a nice shared understanding of how together Canva will help us, will be one of the tools in our tool belt that can help us become really solid stewards of our big mothership brand of AgriLife, and certainly the extension brand as well. So again, why Canva? Y'all been suffering through, I think between Kim, Troy, and myself, we have something like 75 years worth of experience in Adobe. Adobe is extremely powerful. Photoshop, InDesign, Illustrator, y'all might be familiar with these. You might have thrived in this. You might have, in this space, you might have loved it, but they're expensive. And to bring a big team on board, it's a steep learning curve, very, very expensive. And what, from the design side, we know it's very hard to manage these files in an environment. So one of the frustrations that I know that we hear, and it's from the designer side and the customer side, and it's just a mutual frustration, is that we don't want you guys to have to be so dependent when it comes to, you've got this great fact sheet, you've got this great impact brief, let's say, but you find a typo on it, you find you want to update from one year to the next. Oh my gosh, that you have to, it can be frustrating when you know that you could do it yourself, but when you have to use a designer, get time in with the designer. I mean, our designers serve a lot of people, so that's something that we can eliminate with Canva. So Canva is free. Canva out of the out of the box, excuse me, is free. It's very flexible. It's powerful. It's web-based, as I said. I really love the intuitive, easy to use interface. It's very WYSIWYG, as they say. It's what you see is what you get. And the collaboration tools, the collaboration features are second to none, and I think you're gonna enjoy some of that. The biggest thing, I mean, the power of Canva though, is that you can design anything, and it puts some really nice, a nice bounding box there for you. You don't have to remember what HD resolution is. You don't have to remember the perfect sizing for Facebook and Instagram. It's got that there for you. And so you can be, if you know PowerPoint, if you know Word, if you know how to work those tools, this is going to be even easier than that. And so there's a lot of people that are moving away from those desktop publishing products into Canva for ease of use. So this is just an example. So presentations, social media, resumes, not that anybody here would be getting their resume together. But social media, all dimensions of social media. More benefits of the free Canva include, this is kind of what it looks like when you're inside Canva. You've got a menu to the left, which kind of organizes your stuff into some folders, into some recent designs. But what I love about it is that you can see all of your work. You don't have to be digging through folders and remembering when you did it, when you can see it at a glance. This is something nobody really talks about, but I think the fact that you can peruse and browse through your work is really kind of special. That being said, seeing what that looks like, I want to encourage you guys to go to the Marcom template library. I'm curious if Kim or Troy, you can pop that link into the chat for anybody that wants to do some browsing right now. We're going to talk a little bit more about this library, but it is there. It's accessible. This is a starter. Part of what I think is so great about this is that the Marcom team, that's Kim and her team, they've got the brand guidelines there. These templates are separated into print and digital. I encourage you to look at both, because I think you'll realize that just because it was digital and social media doesn't mean that you might not want to print it because it looks good and vice versa. So they have built out a big library. Again, we'll talk about it in a little bit more depth in just a little bit. But that's where you find it, on the marketing communications page. And the beauty of this, you guys, is that they're continually updating it. So it's pretty amazing to know that these are not going to be stagnant. They are going to continue to grow with us. Yeah, and so and it's as easy as this. You, from our Marcom page, the link goes straight to Canva, and in 2 clicks, you're in a Canva file. Our team of creatives, and again, Kim, Troy, you can hop in here anytime. They have done us a real solid by giving us instructions on how to use this. They've populated these templates with our logos. You see here it says TVMDL, but anything that you see, if you see it for research, it's available for extension. And so you can dig through these templates and read these nice instructions that they've given to you, that you don't have to wonder what you're doing as you're poking around in here. But in just a few clicks, you're already in. The other benefit to working with these templates from our library is that as they were created on brand. I put my little air quotes up there because we'll talk more about that later too. When you're using those correct colors, sometimes we've all seen that funky maroon when it comes out kind of pink, or we know that we're using the correct brand colors. And there's actually a bigger palette than just the maroon and gray. We've got a bigger palette that we can use that have been curated by our creative team in order to work well, complement the work. They're also created with our brand fonts. So if you open up one of these templates, they are, you're on the right track, and they're completely editable. I take that back, not completely editable. They have elements that are locked down, but again, we can speak to that in a moment. So I'm going to hand it off to Justin, because he has some special experience and can speak to the power of the collaboration in Canva. And again, they make it so easy. You're just a few clicks away from awesome. And you'll see here, you can click to edit, use as a template, share. I'm going to hand it off to Justin.
All right, thanks, Tamara. So one of the best features that I really do appreciate about Canva is the ability to collaborate with our fellow agents. I know in District 9, we are put into clusters. We have different working committees that we work throughout the year, especially on the 4-H side of things. We're planning events. And as we know, as from the agent standpoint, we are our own designer, marketer, planner, event planning. We do it all. And so sometimes we don't always have the ability to create a well-designed flyer. And I think we have high quality programming. I think we need to match that with high quality flyers. And Canva gives us that ability because it's the ease of designing, but also we can start to collaborate. One thing that we did in District 9 is we created a team. You can create a team in the free version, and you can add members to that team. And then when you click on your flyer that you've created, you can click share, and there's an option to share with your team. And from there, anyone who's in that team can see those flyers. So for us in our 4-H world, when we have things that come up throughout the year, instead of having to go back and recreate that wheel 254 times that we're best known for, we can click and we can see that I need a graphic for enrollment that's going to be ending on Halloween. Let me borrow what Rachel Cooper made in Walker County, and I can adjust it from, I can click it, make copy, and now I can change it from Walker County to Montgomery County, hit download, upload to our social media, and we are done. So the ability to save time is just fantastic. So we have roughly about 55 members in our team, and you can see some of the things that we've put together. A lot of it is 4-H because our programs, 4-H is a large universe of different types of different projects and events. So we need a diverse amount of graphics that we can utilize for our social media, and also promoting those programs that are in a fun way that are going to attract our youth. So the goal that we created with these templates, as I mentioned, not only for having templates ready to go, but not everyone has the creative ability to sit there and create high quality flyers. So this is a great way to have a library, and kind of what Marcom is doing with the templates. They are doing it the professional way and having them set ready to go, where these have all been created by county agents and county offices that we are just sharing with our fellow county offices. And that's a great tool. But also you can create it within your district. If you're working as a committee for the state dog show, you can create a team specifically for the dog show. If you're working on a Walk Across Texas event and you need your fellow coworker in across the state to maybe make an edit, you can share it with a link. It doesn't have to be through the teams. You can have a editable link. And the cool thing about Canva is it's much like Google Docs, where you both can be editing at the same time, and it actually shows notes of who's editing what at the same time, so you can both be on there at the same time. So it makes editing a breeze. You can be on teams talking to each other and edit at the same time. So I just can't speak enough about how powerful the ability to collaborate is.
Um, Thank you so much for that, Justin. It's true. He's created he's created an environment where of great collaboration. I just wanted to add that there's this really nice, I think, depending on the level of intricacy and of what you're choosing to do, like social media graphics probably have a limited number of words. Should you start getting into like a one pager or some 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 meatier work, you definitely want to go through a review process. So this is really nice that that you can offer comments and some edit suggestions. This is a great bounce it back and forth in between your team. And if there's an approval process that you go through, this is really nice that you can solicit feedback back and forth with your team through the comments features. There's just a lot of great strength in the collaborations there. Um, Now, there was a little bit of what Justin was speaking to, and in the power of those teams, and I'm be willing to bet we've got some people in the crowd that are like, I'm not dealing with Canva free, I'm dealing with Canva Pro. Or there's people that are perhaps even considering moving to pro or having the same speed bumps that we're enduring right now. I want you to know that Canva Pro is pretty fantastic. Canva Free is a very, very robust tool. Canva Pro opens up some more doors. There's a few more bells and whistles. There's a few more collaboration tools that are fun and great. And we don't want to hold anybody back on that. But I would like for you to know this is an interesting moment in time because I really wish we would have gotten some guidance before this meeting, but just know that it's in discussion right now. So our leadership and IT are talking about what this could look like in order to perhaps get a negotiated enterprise subscription. There's different pricing models that we're evaluating that our leadership recognizes that this is operational efficiency and to be able to collaborate is important. So just I would say if you're considering it right now, hold tight for a little bit. We're about to get some guidance on this. Nothing happens overnight. It's not going to be like tomorrow. But if you can be patient, there could be some exciting things for us there. Um, and if you do decide to do that on your own, it's just this is where I say it gets a little complex because printing and billing are something that we just don't have a solution for quite yet. So recognizing that's one of the reasons why we're just saying just hold tight a little bit. Now, number 4, I want to speak to Marcom. We would really, ideally, we would like to be building teams that allow for some best practices and really well distributed brand guidance and oversight. And if we're collaborating as a big team together, how beautiful that would be. That's like that's nirvana land to be able to help people and see what's going on out there. I say oversight, but as I say that, I really want to be reinforce the notion that this isn't policing. Like we don't want to see what you're doing in order to slap your wrists. We're here to elevate, amplify, bolster that brand, help you where we can. We're a professional service unit and it is our specialty. And we know that you guys are educators. Canva puts design tools in your hands that if we can help finesse and refine some rough edges, that is our job as a service unit. So we want you guys to be able to focus on the educational programming, the outreach that you're doing, and we get you putting your best foot forward and getting you the tools to do that. So where we're a little bit at a halt with Canva Pro, please know that Canva Free is a very, very suitable solution that you can be very excited about right now. So, um, that being said, I do want to talk a little bit about brand, because when we talk about that, I don't want to, I'm putting my air quotes up here, I don't want to be policing the brand. We don't want to be policing the brand. We want to manage the brand. um, I feel like sometimes we have a discussion, and brand can sometimes get confused in our day to day. Like, so it is so much more than a logo. And I think we all know that, but I just want to share this quote because I felt like it was such a good illustration of how we should feel about the brand. And Jeff Bezos, which we know, the founder of Amazon, he goes, your brand is what other people say about you when you're not in the room. So if we think about it, and if people are judging us by what we're putting out there, what is it that they're saying about us? And so my team actually of strategists have done a fair amount of um, we're talking to you guys. We've done a bit of workshopping on what elements of our brand kind of look like, and we're not using words like ag and natural resources, and we're not using words like FCH, and we're not using programmatic language, but we're talking about what makes extensions special and what makes us who we are. And so these are some words that I would like for you guys to associate more closely with the brand than the logo in and of itself. Not to say though that the brand isn't and the logo isn't important. So I move into this screen because this is kind of you take a moment and look at what's going on here and see kind of where extension fits in. I think we're all familiar with the Google logo and the Coca-Cola logo and their brands, their associated brands. But look at this P&G, that's Procter and Gamble. And so this is where I really see this is where I see where extension lives today, in that, did you know that the same people that make the diapers are the same people that make your Folgers coffee? Like it almost doesn't make sense, but when you understand that the umbrella, the overarching umbrella of P&G, it does. But not everybody knows that, and I think that's where extension lives. And is that where we want to continue to live? Maybe not. So we live in this house of brands, and we really want to be moving towards a branded house. And so our umbrella brand, or the P&G, if you will, is our our sister agencies. That's research, that's TVMDL, the Forest Service, and the college. And so I'm sharing this with you guys for demonstration purpose only. I want you to look at, we all have a tie to the college. Our experts and specialists have their dual appointments. And so we know where they sit, and that when we see these brands get floated around, entomology, poultry science, soil and crop sciences, we recognize the authority behind them because they're partnered with that university brand. And the Texas A&M University Central Marcom has done a very good job of managing that brand. And so I would like for you to just take a moment and think of what it would look like if all of the programs, the many, the diversity of our many programs, if they are better aligned next to the AgriLife Extension logo, how well that does for the program, and how that in fact does boost the brand of extension. And that someone can, this is the, what are they saying when you walk out of the room? What they'll say is, wow, I didn't know that path to the plate and passenger safety were even remotely related. What an amazing breadth of experts. That's what we want people, that's what we want people to say and feel when they walk away from interacting with our brand. So when we throw that word around, brand, 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 that's really what I would like for us to remember. And Kim, Troy, do you have anything you'd like to share about that? Because there's a lot of ways we can think about brand.
I think that was really well said, Tamara. Thank you. And please do read the bold text that this is for demonstration purposes only. Nobody Path to the Plates lockup or logo at this point is not going anywhere.
Don't freak out.
Please do not take a screenshot of this and panic. This really is to demonstrate a point and to demonstrate the power of a more unified brand, and then developing visuals using something like Canva, where your visual identity comes through the photos you're using and through other elements in your designs, and that's how you create your uniqueness and tell your story. In the same way that Tamara shared about Google, right, and kind of falling in line. So that's all I would add to that is, again, please do not panic. And there's a lot of research happening too with New City, and I think a lot of people have heard about, there's some web research happening in the background, and we're all anxiously awaiting the information we find about that, and what does our audience think, and what is the perception of AgriLife and of AgriLife extension and the awareness of it. So we're all waiting for the data to come in to help guide us. So.
Yes, and it's exciting, and that's happening right now. So so that being said, and again, seeing how well they fit together, how good it looks when they're all put together, it takes me back to the self-service templates. And I hope, like, with a little bit different lens, we can see this now, and now know that it's not just the font and the colors, but when we can see all of our programs coming together on this mosaic, for example, and seeing that, wow, it really does come together, we can see the strength of that brand coming together, and how these self-service templates are going to help get us there. So we want these self-service templates for you guys to be a launching point that you can help our agency, continue to project, and better project, because I know that we've had some struggles in the past. We have, so we can do better, and project that unified front in the public eye.
And let us know. We do not have a crystal ball over here in our design land that we live in. So we are depending on you to tell us a little bit about what you need. I know the most recent request was, hey, can we get more templates that have more of a collage feel, utilize more than just one photo? And the next week we had a couple new templates up that do that. So we want this to be a collaboration and something we're building together. So please reach out to Tamara, reach out to myself, and let us know what we can make for you to help build out your toolbox.
Absolutely. And some of these can and would, I would imagine these look familiar. I know that there's a VG Young trifold brochure there, and there's event programming, there's one pagers, there's some really great things that are done, and they didn't happen in what did you say, the crystal ball, but they didn't happen in a vacuum. They came to us as projects, and the creative team said, hey, I bet it's not just research that needs this. I bet the extension programs could use this too. And so this is our best attempt at working smarter, not harder. So I hope that y'all can see that. And I see things like the brochures and the event programs and the certificates. I mean, we're rounding out with another season of recognitions, but how helpful is that to know that you're not having to struggle around with that? It's already done. So again, I'm pointing you to this texag.ext marcom. Now that's a short link, and where that will get you, you can get to these links in a variety of ways. And since I'm speaking to an extension audience, I have a little bit different messaging for you. So at the beginning of the presentation, we talked about you can get there from the Marcom page. that is the home of the bank of templates. That's where Kim and her team are putting them. However, we understand that extension needs a space to be a gospel truth for the things that are very extension specific. And so that's why I give you this short link, because we have a mini Marcom page that has, like I said, the extension specific needs. And I think it would be great for you to bookmark it, because there's things that we know that are not AgriLife, that are not creative needs of AgriLife, but are creative needs of extension. I'll give you a little sneak peek and know that there's some county reports templates that we understand. AgriLife research is not going to need a county report template, but you guys will. And so if y'all need help on that, that's something that can, could, and would, should be coming down the pipe for you guys. So that's where we would be, that's where we would have them. We're really excited to share this. And you know what, Kim, would you mind if I just let you talk about this?
Yeah, there's a lot of chatter happening in the chat. So I know once it got mentioned, people are pretty excited about this. So in the chat, there is a link to our brand new, it is just launched, and I believe a memo is going out today or tomorrow announcing it to leadership, if not everyone. So you guys are getting a bit of an exclusive preview, but we are calling it the AgriLife Photo Shelter. Photo Shelter is the name of the product of sorts we're using. And it is, our digital media team has been hard at work, and I'm talking 4 to 5 photo shoots per week. Oftentimes they went to Gonzales last week, and then Austin twice last week, actually. They're going to San Antonio next week for, what is that project, Rudy? A 4-H gardens event that they're
the Youth Gardens program.
Gardens program, thank you. So
no problem.
2 important notes. One, there are instructions on how to use Photo Shelter. That link has been shared in the chat. And please know that this really only started in February, January or February. So all of the pictures you see are brand new photos that have been taken this year. And please check back regularly, because as I said, I mean, our team is happily, they're very busy right now, and they've got a lot of things scheduled. But we would also love to know what we're missing and what you would like to see on there. Just with the awareness of a couple things. We have a mission for this to be a well-curated, thank you, Tamara, selection of photos. So we are trying to avoid small live events that are really, they can be challenging to photograph. It's hard to set up lights. That's not really what we're trying to do, but there are certain events that are happening that we do dip our toes in and we get to if they're big enough and they're really high impact events. So think topically. If there's a topic like, hey, I don't see anything about East Texas in any of these albums, when are y'all getting that? That would be a great thing to send us, and then tell us where to go. Tell us the cool horses that you have hanging around that you need pictures of. Tell us some specifics that you need, but think big topic, big picture, and we want to get those photos. So that's my spiel on Photo Shelter. We are so excited. It's going to grow and evolve. Hopefully it'll start including B-roll footage. So, you know, beautiful wheat swaying in the field. I think 2 weeks ago they went out and did a wheat field, and they were shin deep in mud. They're going through a lot to get some of these photos, having a good time doing it. But do let us know. We want to keep this collection growing. We may evolve to including logos in here, but we'll see. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Kim. One thing I want to say that I told myself I didn't want to speak too much about the Canva Pro just because of where we're at. But Canva, a lot of people will dilly-dally around in Canva free and they'll say like, oh, I really like that stock footage and it's available, it's only available in Pro. And this is where I see this library, this growing library. I'm like, you don't need stock footage when you've got a library that's as robust and specific as what we've got going on, what we're growing. So
a couple things real quick, Tamara, and there's a chat on the side that they're not seeing as many photos. What's happening is you're seeing these invited galleries, since Tamara's a special user. We need to go through and still, since this is so brand new, I need to get on my team about this and populate the public library that you all will see, so that you're not having to sort through 11,000 photos. You have just the best of the best photos to choose from. So they need to catch up on that, and I will get on them to get that updated. But that's a very real thing, and I'm sure you're not seeing all of the photos available, but it's growing and they will be there. So please bookmark it right now during this meeting. Yes. It'll be a really great resource for you.
Yes. Awesome. So like I said, as those are made available, the argument that, but I don't have stock footage is not going to hold as much weight when all of those are opened up, because again, in terms of building that brand of respectability and authority, and one of the words that I really like to associate with us, since we're based in research, is like we're a source of truth. And so when you see our imagery with that A&M brand on the A&M brand on the rear end of the horse, like, it came from us. It did not come from Adobe. It did not come from iStock or Pixel Dust or whatever there are these days. These came from our field. So I think that there's definitely some amount of, it's more than legitimacy. It's, but there's respect that comes along with.
But it can be hard finding the right photo of a cow, right? You're looking through stock images for a cow to put on your flyer, and you go, "That's not our cow. That's not our type of cow. Nope, that's a dairy cow."
Like that here in Texas.
So it's going to be really good for you to have pictures from Texas of our Texas AgriLife stuff.
Yes, absolutely. We're moving right along. Are there any questions in the chat that we need to be touching on? I can't see the chat. So are we good?
There was one question about poster size on templates from Dana. Was asking about, are there banners and posters on the templates?
Ooh, that's a good question. A lot of these letter size and whatnot can get resized into poster, and that's not something you could do easily in Adobe. That's a good question. If we can, the answer is yes. Anything can be done. I'm actually 2 slides, and then Kim can speak to the print quality, actually.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to wait for 2 more slides?
Well, no, let's just answer that question.
Yeah, so it's really a 2-part question. Posters, unfortunately, I left my poster that I had printed. It's in my office. I did a test print just to check quality, to know whether or not we could recommend Canva printing. Like, does it come and it's just this crappy piece of paper and not good? It was only $7 for this 18 by 24 poster. It was glossy, it was thick paper. It was great. Highly recommend. And the cost goes down the more that you order. I also printed sample brochures. I was quite pleased. The printing was off a bit. It was as if everything was shifted a tiny bit, 1/8 of an inch to one side. But the customer service has been great. They're sending me reprints at no charge. Within a day, they got on it and responded to me. So it's not good that there's a mistake on the first test, but it'll be interesting to see how they resolve it in their customer service there. And again, for 5 brochures was $7, and it went cheaper from there. And I will say this, since I don't have the same skin in the game as you all have, Leadership for Extension, if you're listening, these county agents need budgets for good printing. I know I've had to create some one-pagers in black and white because I've heard that there's not a budget for printing it in color because they have to do X, Y, or Z. And so I don't know, I may or may not get in trouble for that, but please support them in having a budget to print good stuff so they can do really good outreach. Especially if we have a tool like Canva where we're getting the right logos on there, we're getting great photos on there. Just continuing to support this effort of getting the brand out there and doing their jobs really well and building that really good toolbox. So printing approved, and that's off my soapbox for that. But
well, and that's great because we know that we have agents, we have attendees here that are in metro areas where going to a print shop is not a problem. We're going to a copy shop, you know, is not a problem. You can swing by on your way to work, on your lunch hour. But if you're in one of these rural areas, you don't have a printer in town that you can send this to. That's not an easy thing. And if your copier is not working, you're even more hard up. So to be able to just click and go, have it printed, that's incredibly convenient.
yeah, and the price is right. The price is really competitive with even our local printers here if we were to spec it out. So a really good resource I would recommend. And I would love a volunteer, someone somewhere, an extension. What does that look like from a free account side? Does the cost change? Is there something weird there? These are the quirks that someone with a free account get in touch with me afterwards. I would love to hear about and to know about, right? Can people with free accounts still print? Does it cost extra? Those little questions. So I would love to know more. We're learning in this also. So.
And just to speak to that, Kim, I want y'all to know that in our new centralized organization, you know, we recognize that professional service units have been shaken up, they've been turned upside down, they've been, you know, there's been a lot of just things moving around for you guys. I want you to know that we wanted to get this to you as soon as we could. And so we are learning, we don't have all those kinks figured out yet, which is why we haven't figured out the pro situation, but it's out of our genuine, real desire to want to get the tools in your hand just as quickly as we can. That we're where we are right now.
There was a second part of that question, not to cut you off, Tamara, that was about banners. And that part I forgot to get to. So I think one of the most popular things that gets ordered by extension agents are the retractable banners that copy services used to print, right? Yeah. We are currently working in the background on a storefront option, but we need to be working closely with some of our other entities, whether it's digital ed, whether it's to figure out what the best source for that type of ordering can be. We have some plans, it's in the work, but Canva will not do things like retractable banners. I saw you can print mugs from there though, that's cool. So stay tuned on that one.
Yeah. Thank you though for the questions. And yeah, just speaking of learning more, nice segue into we're all still learning on this.
Tamara,
yes.
There was a question about the brand kits.
Yes.
It says, let me read it to you. Oh, now it's jumping around. Everybody's commenting. Everybody's answering the question, but I want to get it from you. Said I may have missed something, already addressed this. Is Canva, there is a tab for a brand kit. Will the Texas A&M branding guidelines be incorporated with the Canva brand kit tab?
So this is one issue of everyone. If every district creates their own Canva account, we would need, this is why this is one of those hold off while we do some planning and thinking on this. Every district then would have to re-upload the brand kit and reinstall all of that stuff to get you started. And so yes, there's a way I can download our AgriLife brand kit and then provide it on our AgriLife communication site or the extension site that Tamara has. And then you can download that and import it into Canva is one option. And that's probably our immediate fix for right now, saying, hey, download this package that you can upload to Canva. The long-term solution is hopefully cleaner than that. That's our goal.
I would love for this to be, and you know, the pie in the sky optimism here. I would love for us to be able to find an enterprise-wide solution so that way we could think of this like IT, and you know, they have to push out their updates, their software updates, their security updates. And so we could push these out and we know it gets to you. It would be amazing to be able to think of it in that way. But yeah, there's still some more to figure out on that front, but hold tight and let's take note of who it is that's asking these questions. And I'd like to get back in touch with them.
It's a great question though. It's
It
a
is.
good question and it'll take some thinking. So
Yes.
I do want to add on the brand kits. With the free version, you can have the brand kit, but you're going to be limited on the number of colors. So I think you can have 3 with the free version. So you're not going to get all 5 of our extension colors plus the accent color. So there is a few limitations with the free version.
Yes. But again, this is where I say when you're downloading from our template library, you're grabbing graphics that already have the palette specific, the very specific brand colors and fonts too. So I think some people have maybe asked about the fonts, not having access to the fonts, but if you download them from us, it is transferable. So lastly, or almost lastly, we're rounding out here, and we're getting so many good questions and a lot here. We just wanted to point you to the design school that Canva has. I thought I had it highlighted. Design school, and these are courses and tutorials that they have identified that are very useful for it's like, what's the word for a weekend warrior? But you're not a weekend warrior, like you're a warrior designer. You're walking in here, you don't have any design experience. Like, how can you feel more comfortable with the design choices that you're making? These are tiny little small videos that you can watch, and it's great. They do a really, really wonderful job. Now, that all being said, and knowing that we have a very specific brand direction that we are going, this is where I really want to say, get excited about next week, because Troy is going to get his hands dirty and he is going to be working through some demonstrations of what I'm calling agrifying. I used to work on campus, so I call it agrifying a project and turning it maroon. Well, agrifying is more than just maroon. We've got other colors. We've got great imagery. There's a lot we can do. And so he's going to take something from blah to wow. And Troy comes from a education background. And so he's going to be a really wonderful resource for you guys. So where you can get started now and do some design school with Canva, get excited to know that we've got resources in-house in Troy that we can you can leverage, because we'll be recording that next week as well, and so we can reference it afterwards. So that leads us to, and we are doing pretty darn good on time. I wanted to just kind of shout out to a few people. They're in our email invitation. We had said, share with us your good work, share with us what you're doing. And I got a whole lot of submissions and a whole lot of really good work, guys. And so I just wanted to share a couple examples of some different things that are going on. We've got an infographic in the middle that I think they said that they printed long and skinny. We got a flyer on the right hand side and a digital newsletter on the left. These are from you guys. You guys submitted these, and y'all are doing really, really good work. And so I like a few of the things that I like are how they use the logo here, the white on maroon on the left. We've got some nice columns in place, some nice imagery, quality images, and of course they're using their links and good logos. They're just getting creative. They're using what Canva is throwing at them in terms of the templates that are available, and making sure that we're putting our mark on it and doing that well. So just wanted to shout out to these folks that they're getting creative and they're doing good work, and thank you for that, because you guys are almost a step ahead of us, because I know that y'all have gotten your hands, like I said, gotten your hands dirty. Maybe it's because I'm looking at that little girl with her hands dirty. Y'all have gotten in on this. Y'all are finding solutions. I just want to applaud y'all for braving this, because we recognize that there was kind of missing guidance there for a while. We want to be here to support you moving forward, and just know that y'all impress us. This is my team. So in terms of extension, if you've got questions, I've got our information here, but really if you bookmark that extmarcom.com, texag.extmarcom, you'll get straight to us. So that's a wonderful way to reach out if you have any questions. We're happy to field them. We're so happy to be here, and be with y'all, and hopefully together be elevating that brand. And then here we go next week with Troy. Something to really look forward to. We didn't make any mention of it today, but accessibility is a huge opportunity for us to make some improvements, some marked improvements. And so Troy can talk to you about that. He's an expert in UX, or user experience. And so I think y'all are gonna geek out. If y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all did, I know that y'all are really going to enjoy next week. I hope I've gotten you guys excited. We're just so happy to be here, folks.
Can I chime in a little bit about next week?
Sure.
So yeah, Troy has a PhD in the design world. He comes to us after he taught at Virginia Tech. He taught at UNT up in Denton, and then we stole him away. And we're so excited about that. He presents in a way that just is calming. He's like the Bob Ross, but of the design world. So I really think you're going to learn a ton, and I'm really excited for our team. So many of you, I don't even know if you knew we existed, the marketing team over here that does creative work and graphic design work. And I love design too, and we're just so excited to teach you some of our skills. You are experts in outreach and what you do with all of the individuals on the ground. You are the boots on the ground people, and we sit over here nerding out about what our type size is, and do our colors contrast enough that it's easily readable and it draws your eyes to this particular spot. That's what we do. That's what we're experts in, and we are so excited to get to share that with you and to get to come together, because we haven't had a chance before. So it gives me goosebumps. I'm so excited. And teaching is also, that's our jam. I actually teach one of the A&M courses designed for ag media on campus here. So we're gonna have a good time, and I hope you show up for that one. It's going to be a little more hands-on, and I don't want to say in the weeds, but I would love it if all of you had your free or pro Canva accounts open and you were kind of doing it along with us, and we get to get in there and make some good design choices and learn a lot from each other. So that's what I have for next week.
Thank you so much, Kim. And last little just parting words, if I could. Again, I want to say thank you for your patience. Thank you all for enduring what you've been enduring. We recognize your struggles and we recognize where y'all came from. And we really want to be a partner with you guys. This is with all things moving, I want y'all to know that this is something that's going to be here. We're going to stay here. We're going to be partners together, and that this is kind of the good side of what's happening on the professional service units, the movement, and that this is the beauty of that. So we want to make sure that y'all know that.